Be right there. Oh. Ah. That's the sound I make when I move around now. My little chatty program. Oh my god, there's so many windows open here. Can we close any of these? You did say hi. Good job. Used hello emotes as well, like you said you would. That open twice. I'm just sorting out the windows in front of me. Oh my god, I haven't even looked at the financials yet. Oh. Get rid of the socks. Let's get up the page with the Argo and the Ares on it. Do we need the ship matrix opened up? Probably not. Maybe we do. Duplicated window. You like the Inferno? 5-tier Q&A, why not? Don't need the O patch. Put the roadmap to the front. Let's put promotions. 3.8. And it's patch notes to the front. Anything new on Reddit? Oh, an interview with me from Pulsar 42. Quick start flight controls, which are pretty cool. I think people are eating. That's exciting. Where are their financials listed? Wait, let's see this. Oh, hi. I'm Board Gamer. Top of my head is cut off. Let's make that less. I'm so shiny today. Pan? No. Built. Yes. Do that. And I've got some range of movement. Perfect. The CIG financials are here. So this is a statement about 2019's financials, sort of, and the 2018 financials, like this actual breakdown of the 2018 financials, which are quite good because they've got, how much money have they got in the bank at the moment? 56 million in the bank at the end of 2018, and 2019 was a record-breaking year for them for funding, but I'll look at that in a lot more detail later. I want to get a proper breakdown rather than just sort of like half-assed, well, this sort of means maybe this, although that's pretty much most of my videos. Oh, lol, 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 lol. But let me link that for you. There you go. So today, hello. I'm going to turn down the music somewhat. First thing we're going to do. So I've got the end of a cold. I've got a little, my cheeks are very full today. Got the end of a cold, so I'm a little bit of extra slapdash and haphazard, and a little bit floaty with my brain. So bear with me. It's not an actual bear with me. Tomorrow I'm doing the prep for my Christmas dinner that I'm doing for my family. And then the day after I'm cooking it, and it's Christmas. So I'm not sure what videos or coverage of Star Citizen I'm going to have for the next couple of days. Probably a little tiny bit, probably at least one video coming out over the next couple of days. But I wouldn't expect much more than that. I'll do a load of social posts and stuff as well. I'll be bored probably at some points during the day when I'm, cooking Brussels sprouts or something, or preparing roast potatoes. There's some interesting things that have happened to me today. Someone on Twitter posted to me and this random girl I'd never met, I think you and Board would make a great couple. And she was obviously terrified that she might have to meet this weird potato man. And it was weird, so I had said, don't worry, this is awkward for both of us. I don't know what the guy was thinking. Why'd you message two people on Twitter who don't know each other and say they'd be great together? It's just weird. It's really awkward. It's like really awkward. Yeah. So it's great that 3.8's been released to live. There are bugs with it still. I thought that might be the case, that they'd release a build that they then need to hotfix a few times. There's already been a hotfix released, increasing the mole's fuel capacity by 40%, and fixing some crashes and stuff. Got a cup of tea as well, if you want to know. I am wearing this streamer Twixie. Trixie? To Twerk. This streamer I used to watch called Twerk, 42 or something. And I don't know where he's gone now. It's weird. But I love this Christmas. I love this Christmas t-shirt. But yeah, I hope everyone is having a merry festival, holiday, winterval, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. I celebrate Christmas. I've got my stars on my trees, and we all dress up as Jesus in the back, like my family. Maybe, I don't know. What do you do? What do you do nowadays? What's the modern thing to do? Yeah, 3.8 live. Don't know where I'm going with that. Told you I'd be a bit weird. So 3.8 live. Lots of new stuff. Well, actually, maybe not lots of new stuff. That's some new stuff. Let's open this up and then press F11 so it gives us a boop. So we've got socks in it. Socks. What does socks do? Gives you more frame rates. Gives you better servers. It's basically a giant bottleneck for them for load new tech and load new gameplay area. They wanted to put in the game for a long time, and it does lead to a lot more smoothness, and everything's sort of like built with socks in it. Like, that's the best I can say. All their tools, all their missions, all the features, everything's built within in mind. And it's sort of like just a core part of the engine and game. So now that it's in, expect a lot more to come a lot quicker with Star Citizen, and it allows them to also now work on server meshing, which could then allow for a lot more people to play in the game, even when static server meshing version 1 comes out, and then dynamic server meshing with potentially everyone in the same game. No server limits is the end goal of server meshing. But SOX is incredibly important, but it sort of like touches on everything in game, gives you more stable servers, gives you larger player counts potentially if they want to test that out. For me, it's also like improved the AI and lots of stuff like that. Things that were being bottlenecked by the server are not bottlenecked by the server anymore. We've also got Microtech. Now, Microtech's cool. Pardon the pun. It's a frosty planet. But there's not much to do on it beyond looking at it. You go there, you can have a look at stuff. The new Babbage there it's just the externals. There's an Easter egg underneath it. Little snowman boys and Christmas trees and Christmas flair. The planet itself's very pretty, but there's no missions there other than the 890 jump mission above it, and Port Tressler above it as well. But there's like no missions tied to the surface properly yet, and that sort of stuff. New mission wise, we've got the 890 jump mission, we've got the Arlington gang missions, we've got the jump claim missions. We've got open bounties. They're all pretty good. The 890 jump mission shows sort of like the idea behind multi-part missions or missions that have multiple side missions that you can complete to get more rewards. Great, but that mission's very static at the moment. So it needs to be part of the dynamic mission system and have lots of different modules attached to it, and they have to happen in different ways. Planetary Tech V4. All the planets and moons have been redone for it. Just much better visuals for the planets, much better use of resources, less popping of the actual terrain at the moment. Assets still pop in, so like rocks, trees, buildings, but the actual geological features, other than that, don't. And it looks fucking amazing. So Planetary Tech V4 is absolutely great, and everything's been redone for it. Got these amazing scenes now, and obviously weather, static weather effects, maybe I suppose you could call them, is tied to that as well. You do see wind maps, you do see windstorms and dust and sand and snow storms coming in. No rain yet. I want rain. Got melee combat. Now melee combat is very cool if you're organising something to do melee combat with. If you want to have like a little boxy punchy. I think someone here in my chat may be organising some form of tournament, which they're more than welcome to advertise. Or you can stabby with knives as well now, which you can buy. But it doesn't really work in the meta of the game. There's like no missions where you use it. You'd have to organise something and then punch people. Just because. You can do takedowns on NPCs, but I mean, they're probably going to see and hear you, and it's a bit glitchy. And Board, has there been noticeable performance increase for you? There's been noticeable smoothness for me, and the lowest end frame rates are significantly higher for me. So yeah, there's been a performance increase. Everything feels smoother as well. But melee, great to fight other players with and mess around with, but it's not really used properly in the game yet. And I suppose that's true of a load of systems and stuff. Got the Argo Mole. We've got a mining rebalance as well. Really cool mining rebalance. They're sort of like building this stuff in for the dynamic economy that's coming from 3.9 onwards. So you get new mining lasers. You've got lots of new sort of like rocks and resistance for rocks, and all the minables have been rebalanced, and you need more power to take on these rocks. So you either need more lasers or a different mining laser, or a load of people working on a rock. It's much better. But the Argo Mole is obviously a really cool mining ship as well, which I will start using in the next couple of days. I was planning to do some gameplay stuff today, but I feel pretty rough still, so I can't be asked to organise anything. We've got new weapons as well, Snipper Rifle, and the Animus Missile Launcher. I think is really fucking useful, and anytime I've got heavy armour on, I will carry one around with me. A load of them together will take out ships and vehicles pretty quick. Well, small ships, not big ships. And we don't know, actually. Got enough people, 50 people, or let's say 40 people firing at a hammerhead. Wonder if they have any effect. Sorry, is my mic too low? Is that a bit better? Might have been because I was talking away from my mic a bit. I've been fiddling with it earlier. Apologies. Is that better? Oh, not tell me in chat. Have a look at some of these questions. Let's put it back on this. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much for joining me. Very much appreciated. Sod White, love your face. Sweater's kind of cute too. Thank you very much. Appreciated. Della Mars, oh my god, another month. So tedious. I know, right? Tedious gamer. That's what they call me. Thank you very much for the sub and the monies. Appreciated. I do it for the love and, you know, the cash. Any word on how long the Ares remains on sale? No, I don't know. They haven't actually said anything about that. Hopefully they'll give us a little update on the Twitters. Cannot see any server under Spaceport in the menu. Could anyone help me, please? Do you definitely have a game package? Double check you've got that. 50 people just had to lower their volume. Good. I'm glad. So, Board Game, I have a quick question. Did the amount of damage ships take increased with the FPS damage taken as well? There's been a big rebalance to components and that sort of stuff. With physicalized damage and stuff and balances like that, when they increase things for one, it'll increase it for all, typically. Are you kind of surprised that FPS weapons weren't fixed in the hotfix patch? Yeah, so they tried to fix them a couple of times. It's really annoying. So sometimes your FPS weapons don't fire, and sometimes you drop them, and sometimes you can't pick them up properly. They need to get all that fixed. And I think I highlighted that quite well when I did my 890 jump playthrough, where I was like, ah! It's really fucking annoying. At the moment, you can pull out your fists, and then pull out your gun again, and that can make it work. Or melee with the weapon, that can make it work. Started with zero money, gas stations aren't working, and Port Tressler got me stuck in the hab. So zero money, that's an intended feature. Basically, you start with the amount of UEC that's on your account at the moment. You can do missions obviously quite quickly to get money, so it's not too awful. Just do mercenary missions or clear out security post Korea, that sort of stuff. Gas stations not working. If they're not working for you, then hover above the pad, and then request services when you're hovering rather than landed. Apparently that works. Port Tressler getting stuck in the hab. Is that because of the elevators? I've had good experiences with 3.8, but I know other people are not. I'm so lucky. It's me. I'm making some of my own version of the socks, my board gamer socks. What else we got here? If you put question in brackets, it makes it much easier for me to pick out your thing in the comments. Hey board, you rock. Why are they removing Delamar? Levski is the best. So they are moving Delamar to the Nyx system when Nyx is completed, or potentially before then, potentially to finish off the Stanton system, because Delamar is supposed to be in the Nyx system, and it was a temporary addition to Stanton. Simple as that. When will we start to see investor money raised for marketing for Squadron 42 get put to use? That is a good question. I was expecting that actually at CitizenCon for them to start the marketing campaign for Squadron 42. I'd expect to see it between now and the end of March. They'd start a traditional marketing campaign. Well, don't you know what the first rule of Fight Club is? No. What's the first rule? What is the first rule of Fight Club? How would I know if no one tells me? Is that the first rule? When do you think rearming, refueling will be implemented? The new jump point talks about the law of the Aegis of Vulcan. So, obviously, we've got refueling and rearming at stations, but we need that from ship to ship. The Aegis of Vulcan rearming and refueling is drone-based. Drones actually aren't that far off, technically, because they are just remote mini ships, effectively, or movable turrets, almost. So they haven't got it on the roadmap yet. I would expect it for next year, though. There's a lot of gameplay loops they need to get done for next year. They obviously moved salvage off the roadmap. Hopefully they'll put that back on the roadmap for 4.1 at the latest. Although we'll have to wait and see. There's a huge amount of gameplay they need to start getting into the game now. That obviously they've talked about having jump points in next year and pyro in next year, and getting plowing through with server meshing next year. And obviously Squadron 42 is still a focus, and there's a lot more core stuff they need to get, including the flight model and combat nailed down, physicalized components and physicalized damage, and physicalized inventories, so storage on ships as well. All that's super important for next year, but they do need to start getting in this gameplay loops as well. Were there any updates and fixes added to the flight model in 3.8? There were bug fixes and there were quality of life improvements. And there's lots of stuff to do with cameras and server-side object container streaming and AI updates and stuff. And then they've updated loads of the components and stuff. So yes, there sort of were tweaks and fixes to the flight model, but nothing that's sort of like huge update to. See what I mean? So I've got a really itchy nose. It's having a cold, unfortunately. Have they talked about when they're going to finish ship stealth mechanics? So the thing is with that is they actually need more mechanics in for that aren't necessarily stealth related. Well, they are stealth related. So scanners, passive radars, different types of scanner, different types of radar, physicalized components. That's all stuff they need before stealth mechanics are finished. The stealth mechanics are literally just the detection mechanics with radars and scanners, but you need physicalized components and players to make choices and ambient, static, and environments and stuff to all work together for stealth mechanics, because it's not a push a button, I'm invisible. It's you are managing systems to make sure that you are not being detected on someone else's radar or scanner. When will the Ion come out? So we don't have an ETA on the Ion. However, they did say that they'd be working on a big glut of the Crusader ships at the same time, probably next year. And they moved the Hercules, which was the C2, off the roadmap. And I think they're going to be doing a load of the Hercules ships together, or in like a couple of patches in a row. So expect to start to see them, Hercules ships Q2, Q3, maybe next year, and then maybe they get them out in a big glut over Q3 and Q4. They hotfix mining too. I lost 3 mining tools right out of my hand. I think that's to do with the FPS weapon bug. Any ideas when we'll get more stuff to do on Microtech and Caves? It's possible you might get a 3.8.x patch to give you a little bit more, tie some stuff together, but 3.9 is the expectation for them having interiors for Microtech and then them having lots of stuff to do on the surface with outposts and missions. Do you think refining will come soon? So they wanted refining stations in by 4.0 originally, I think it was. Although I might be slightly off with that. Might have been, no, it might have been 3.9. So they've been building out the space stations in general, and refineries and other automated and cargo stations are sort of like part of the process that they're doing that for. So the rest stops and the increased interiors and the new exteriors, that's all part of that. So expect to start to see them at some point. They're not on the roadmap at the moment, but we should start to see them soon. They were even talking about refinery ships at CitizenCon, so I would expect to see refineries properly in game after the dynamic economies sort of started. So probably next year, though. Almost certainly next year. Lots of other space stations and points of interest as well. Microtech moons and landing zones coming in 3.9. Yes, 3.9. Do you think Star Citizen will support Crossfire? It will support Vulkan, which will then support either Crossfire or something better than Crossfire. It will support multiple GPUs, yes. Have you watched The Witcher yet? No, I have not. I haven't had time to watch any Netflix. I will at some point. Or does it seem like I can't find any weapon shops anywhere? Grimhex? Orville? ArcCorp? What sort of weapons? What all is that? I mean, even with the mole fuel having 40% more, do you feel this is still not enough? I haven't tested it enough to really know. They've obviously changed a load of the quantum fuel mechanics for the game as well. So, and a load of the way items work. So you want to purchase at some point and you quantum drive your ship, and quantum traveling is much quicker, but a lot more fuel guzzly, especially with smaller ships. You don't have enough sort of like fuel capacity. So when are we going to get beam weapons? So mining lasers are a step towards beam weapons, and tractor beams, oddly. Uh, expect to see more beam weapons soon. We'll start to talk about them probably next year in a lot more detail, but I mean, the mining lasers are effectively beam weapons. And I suppose you could argue that the Banu Tachyon Singe weapons are, they're hit scan, but they are beam. Any tips on getting Star Citizen to run more stably? I think I've got a guide up on my Board Gamer website, just in the top, and there'll be a guide for sort of like performance and stability. Make sure you've got the latest graphics drivers. Make sure you've deleted your shader folder in your user folder. There's a few little things you can do like that, and make sure the game's on an SSD, stuff like that. More general, but I bought the new snipper, and before I even fired it, I switched my secondary weapon and lost both weapons. Very annoying. Yeah, I mean the FPS bug is just fucking annoying. Why do you think that they pulled the Starlift to C2 from 4.0? Because they're going to, they probably had a bit of a change in priority, and they've gone, actually, we want to get this, and this, and this, and this done for 3.9 and 4.0, or 4.0. So they'll probably give us a big update to the roadmap, so like mid-January, is what I'd expect, after they've had their sort of like meetings and rescheduling stuff. I think it's possible that they want to do a load of the Crusader ships at the same time, potentially. Yeah, I want them to be able to open up like the cargo pods in the Aurora and that sort of thing, and the Hornet. I want them to be opened up so that you can actually put boxes in them. Oh, that'd be so useful. Mission boxes. What's your take on the silence of Squadron 42 news over the recent months? It's weird. It's a weird one. I mean, I know that they've got a lot planned for Squadron 42. BBC Click said they were promised that Squadron 42 would be released in 2020, episode 1 anyway, which is, we'll have to wait and see if that's accurate. CIG have sort of like played that very, very close to their chest. Now, I'm not sure why we haven't seen a marketing campaign start from CitizenCon. I think we're likely to see a marketing campaign within the next 3 to 6 months start. They really need to release Squadron 42 within the next 18 months, in my opinion, because of the focus that they've got on it, and because of their sort of like roadmap that has roadmap to completion with, what was it, Q2 or Q3 2020, having a feature complete beta planned. So I'd like to have a lot more news on Squadron 42. I don't like the fact that they're being quiet about it, but I suspect that's because they've got something big they're about to, start with. Sort of like start the marketing of it with. That's the only thing I can sort of like think. Carrot going back on sale in February. Yes, it should be on sale and straight and flyable in February 2020. You know if they're going to expand the Stanton system past the asteroid belt further than the Microtech, or is it going to remain as small as it is? So expect exploration mechanics to be beyond the limits of a star system. So yes, there will be more there. Not necessarily any other planets or anything, but more points of interest and some extra expansion there. A lot of it might be volatile events, volatile areas, but there could be more asteroid fields and asteroid pockets and pirate bases and things like that. How many episodes are there going to be for Squadron 42? 3 episodes. Each an individual AAA game, apparently. Hey board, keep rocking the free verse. What happened to the supposed destruction of Port Olisar? Well, that might still happen. Port Olisar is still a legacy asset, so bear that in mind. It's not part of the new space station system. There's a lot of stuff to do with pirates and Ruin Station. and Pyro attacking the Stanton system. So we might still see Paul Other Sub lining up in the future, and then replaced. Papa Mallow, sounding better board. Glad I went short as the price of the board game of Death futures have plummeted. What? What am I doing? What's happening? Why are you shorting my deaths? This is too early in the morning to stocks and shares it. So, yeah. He points it. What time is it? Oh my god, it's 7 p.m. It's not early. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be on for. I'm half dead already. With the new Planet V4 tech, they remade the planets in about 2 months, apparently. Yep. Do you see them releasing full solar systems coming in the future? Yeah. So 2020, they've got planned the Pyro system, and potentially more after that. Jump points as well. When will player persistence be in 3.8? It's platform persistence, so Alpha UVC and Alpha UVC purchases can be saved between patches, at least to a greater extent than they have previously been. It's not currently in 3.8, but it will be in a 3.8.x patch. The storms affecting the flight of the ships, did that not go in? Apparently it's gone in. I haven't really noticed it, although my ship was blown over at one point when I was doing a video and I didn't notice. So apparently it affects the flight mechanics of your ship. When the Stanton system is fully complete, do you think they will roll out new systems at an incrementally faster rate? They will, yes, they will roll them out at a faster and faster rate. They've got the tools where they want them now, that's what they said, and they are building out new systems at the moment. But yeah, so what we've got left to do in the Stanton system for 2020 is Microtech interior and hooking it up with emissions. Then we've got Orison and Crusader, so Gas Giant, actually physicalized properly. And then the Aaron Halo and general points of interest, and then it's sort of done. That should all be done in 2020, although the Aaron Halo is already in game. It's just an asteroid ring at the moment. Any updates on NPC crew? No, beyond the fact that they talk about them occasionally. They talked about them in the Argo Mole Q&A and said, yeah, if you've got NPC crew, obviously they all have different stats. If some of them know how to mine properly, you can put them in the mining turrets. You can put ones that don't know how to mine properly in mining turrets as well, but they might blow up your ship by mining badly. Do we expect some sort of info about Squadron 42 in a December stream, or was that just rumours? That was just rumours. People were talking about a live stream. We might get a video, maybe. The big surprise video, but I doubt it. I would expect them to start talking about Squadron 42 probably March time if they're planning to release it next year. When will CIG start fixing most of the missions, since many are bugged? Not many. I mean, there's certainly some that are bugged. Expect Hox fixes for them coming out over the next few weeks. They're already hot fixing stuff now, so. Given the choice for a new computer, would you go for the 3950X or the 9900KS? The 3950X for me, because Star Citizen is going to start scaling to a lot more cores, and that 3950X is a beast. But also, I do a lot of video compiling and that sort of stuff, and more cores is really useful for me even now. Will a party member be able to claim ore from a Argo Mole? Not at the moment. You'll have to use service beacons to transfer money at the moment. In 3.9, potentially, you'll have the money to do wallet-to-wallet transactions. That's the sort of thing that I'm expecting from the accountancy app that they've got planned for the Moby class. So in 3.8, you'll have to do service beacons. Increased player cap? Question mark. So they said with server-side object container streaming, they might be able to start experimenting with increasing player cap, although server meshing is really what they need for that. And server meshing is going to be worked on. They think by the end of 2020, they'll be almost ready to release server meshing. So expect it for first quarter of 2021. I am slightly dead. I do apologise. Is it time to kill the roadmap for good? No, no, no. I mean, people are aware that the roadmap... What is this? Why is there a whistle in my mouth? What? I'm a lifeguard? What? How does it follow my face? I don't remember doing any of this. Not like the hair. I appreciate the hair. The metal nose. What is... Fuck off. Thanks very much, Rockhog, for the bits. That's a fuckload of bits. Merry Christmas, board. I look forward to another great year of Star Citizen. Thank you. Thanks for the weird face mask thing. So I think the roadmap's genuinely a good thing. Okay. Now, obviously, it's not the most accurate. Stuff changes on all the time, but it's good to know what their current thinking is, and then they can judge what priorities are and change them. But I'd rather have that information than not have it. And there is a reasonable amount of it that is real from patch to patch to patch to patch. But it is typically 3 to 6 months accurate, or not accurate, but more accurate than anything beyond that. I would like them to have a more accurate roadmap and tell us at the earliest possible stage when something might change. Maybe even have a locked-in sort of symbol on it as well to show that this is definitely planned for here, unless it can't make it, whatever. And this is planned, really, really locked in. We've started working on it. That's the plan. Compared to something they're like, this would be nice to have. So 2020 is when they want to have full persistence in. Different from platform persistence. Full persistence is a lot more than that. Allows the server to non-volatilely track items. So you could throw a hula doll on a desert, and then someone else could find that, or you could leave a weapons cache somewhere and go back for those weapons a month later. Will the Genesis Starliner be only a passenger transport vehicle, or will they just swap out the modules for cargo as well? Are you aware of any updates to the ship? I'm not aware of any updates to the ship, but the lore of the ship is that it has lots of different configurations. And I would expect lots and lots of modularity for lots of the ships in the game in the future. When will the Pyro system come out? 2020 at some point. Expect it Q3 or Q4, most likely. Caterpillar or C2 Hercules, depends what you want to do. If you want to land on planets with vehicles in you, the Hercules for sure. Caterpillar, great hauling ship. Any news on Titan suits? Nope, no news on Titan suits. I was hoping we'd see some at CitizenCon, but we did not. NPC AI must be the biggest issue with Squadron 42 at this point. Yeah? I don't think it's as much of an issue as you think. I think the more scripted AI in single-player games are much easier to do than multiplayer games. It's much more scripted and it's much more sort of enclosed. Question. AI is super needed for Squadron 42. I mean, for me, having single-player NPC on each mission to kill is paramount to a single-player game. Can they finish the AI by release this year? I'd assume so. I'd hope so. As I said, the single-player AI of Squadron 42, as I understand it, is significantly easier to do because it can be more scripted. They know exactly what it's going to do. They know they don't have to make missions up on the fly or have modular missions. They don't have to be supporting lots of players beyond one player. So they can do it a lot easier and a lot more sort of enclosed, as I said. Question, when do you think they will add Crusader and Orison? I would expect a sort of Q3 2020 sort of time. Board, have you seen the little hobbit-sized NPC at Everest Harbour? He's hanging around the ship terminals. You can't miss him. He's in a green jacket and he's tiny. I'll look for him, Brad Travis. No worries. Tupundus. Thank you very much for the bits. Very much appreciated. I've got weird wings on my head. Little rainbow wings. Thanks. Why is that even a thing? Thanks. Appreciate it. When can we use the Digital Goodies armor? The CitizenCon Digital Goodies armor, I'd expect it to be used in 3.9. It's got use for 3.9. It's supposed to have thermal protection and stuff, I believe. So expect it for them. Will we start to focus more on game stability in 2020? Well, that's part of the staggered development process, yes. So every patch should be more stable and better and more playable. 3.8 at the moment, it's not bad at all. It just needs those bugs fixed that they said we're releasing now, but we are hotfixing. So in a few weeks, hopefully 3.8 will be in a very good state. Would you recommend buying a MISC Freelancer Max? I wouldn't really recommend buying anything beyond a starter pack for most people. I'm not a fan of the Freelancer series either. You mentioned some expansive mining mechanics on a different stream. Can you speak on what these expanded mechanics and gameplay might be? Need to be more specific exactly what I was talking about there. So with 3.8, there's lots and lots of things that have changed with the mining mechanics. So you've got new mining heads, so basically different mining lasers you can equip on your ships. You've got the Mole and the Prospector now. Prospector has size 1 mining lasers, the Mole has size 2. There are rocks now that require more power than a standard mining laser. So when you get to beyond 4K mass of a rock, you need more than one mining laser or a different mining laser to be able to mine them. There's obviously very high mass rocks that require multiple lasers all working on them together. From the Mole, it's been a rebalance to the minables. When you fracture them and break them down, inert materials will typically be dropped slightly separately, or maybe it's part of one thing, but you'll get more sort of like veins of purer materials, I find. There's lots and lots of changes and tweaks to that and the general economy. I mean, later on, expect to have more minables in-game. Minables to be part of quests and missions, and the economy and prices of things to be directly related to people buying and selling those minables, and then refining them as well. So refining as part of that, those mechanics. Watch Tony Zorovik's 2019 CitizenCon presentation to sort of like see what I mean by a lot of that. Favorite color Mole? I quite like the orange one. I think that the standard orange is pretty slick. They added a new third-person view, right? There's a new one for me. So yeah, there's basically some new cameras and better camera stuff in general in the game. It makes the game feel a lot better. You can tweak a lot more settings as well with the cameras. You just had a 30k error, sorry, man. Do you think there's any chance that CIG could deal with Sony for a PS5 version of the game? For Squadron 42, I think that a console version of the game in the future is not off the cards. Next-gen consoles might be more than capable. When do you think the Ares Q&A will be published? Good fucking question. I'd hope this week, but I think most of the CIG staff are on holiday now. Do you have sunshine over there? I don't really know anymore. I wake up when it's still dark, and I go, and when I'm done, like with work or like done for the day, it is dark again. So, but winter around the UK is pretty dreary. So let's see. I'm interested to see whether 3.9 is going to keep most of its features. 3.9 is very gameplay heavy. There's a huge amount in 3.9, which would be great for the game, including prisons and a load of this sort of like new cargo mechanics and the wallet-to-wallet app stuff and the status system and a huge amount of gameplay with dynamic missions, dynamic economy, loads of stuff like that. So if that stuff mostly stays, fucking great. If it starts to get moved out and hugely changed, then we need to start, I think, talking about the staggered development model and what the roadmaps even mean. When can we expect at least one mechanic to function as intended? Crash recovery works pretty well. The checkout system on the website works pretty well. Better perspective persistence than Fallout 76, am I right? Also, Fallout 76. I enjoyed Fallout 76 when it first released. Me and Zin and occasionally Kit would run around doing adventures, just messing around. I mean, it was a terrible Fallout game, but it was still a co-op Fallout game. So many problems with it now. People being treated as cargo boxes. There's a hack at the moment for it where you can just walk up to people and go, open you up like you're a box and take all your stuff. Where's the end of the Christmas sale? I don't actually know the dates for the end of the sales. For the Mole, for the Ares, or for the Christmas promotions at the moment. Do I think the Eclipse should have at least one size, one gun? What? Why? Why does it need what? Why? 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 So the CitizenCon Digital Goodies armor pack, uh, it's expanded, and they will be adding it to inventory at some point. In game, it's not there yet. I'd expect it for 3.9. I'm not sure if the presents are worth different amounts of Alpha UEC each. Have they implemented the economy persistence? No, they have not yet. Expect platform persistence in a 3.8.x patch in the future, and the economy in general is getting rebalanced. It has been rebalanced to 3.8. Would you recommend the Cutlass Black more than the Avenger? Depends what you want to do. I love both chips for slightly different reasons. Cutlass Black for more sort of like cargo space, and if you've got a friend, the Cutlass Black is going to be much more suitable. Do you think that more stuff will be released from Squadron 42 and ported to the main verse after its release? Yes. I mean, that's literally what they want to do with Squadron 42 stuff. Squadron 42 tech and tech that they're building is all part of the same development branch as Star Citizen. So the dev branch is Squadron 42 and Persistent Universe all together. And then they grab bits and pull it out for individual releases. Do you have Shadow Tech? Yeah, I use Shadow. I've been testing and messing around with the new Shadow hardware as well. So they've got 2 tiers beyond the standard one now of sort of like quite high spec, well, super high spec gaming PC stuff now. I haven't done a video on it yet because I've been too busy. But now that 3.8's come out live, actually can probably look at it a lot more. I'll probably do it over the next couple of weeks. Shadow works really well for me. That's the reason I shill for it. Any news on land claiming or base building? I know it's a long way off, but any news? No, there's been nothing more about it. I knew at the end they wanted it in originally at the end of 2018, land claim gameplay, not the base building, but the actual land claims and some lore stuff associated with that. So it's just going to be whenever they can get enough time to do that. It'll be something like in the same way they've done prisons. They'll just go, and now we've got some land claim gameplay going on, so you could see it in 2020. In-game currency be persistent moving into 3.9. They'll have platform persistence, so there is the potential that we will see a lot less resets. So you may see 3.8 to 3.9 no more that not get reset, but they might still have to reset in certain patches. So more persistence, but not true persistence yet. I have an Aurora underneath. It looks like it could have a crate fitted. Is that just my imagination? No, it's because there is a cargo crate that can be fitted there. When can we expect a wider variety of ships available for purchase and rental in game? From patch to patch. I would expect a much bigger economy rework in 3.9. What is the planned gameplay for multi-crew roles besides pilot and turret gunner? Example, Connie has 3 seats. Which roles will there be for them? So there's going to be people on comms. There's going to be people mapping, scanning, sort of like doing the typical MFD stuff of looking after the power, the shields. There's going to be people running around the ship, making sure that junction boxes and damage to the ship is repaired. But a lot of the stuff's going to be engineering based, or sort of like you could have people working on cargo. Depends on the role of the ship as well. There's going to be some remote turrets and ships. There's going to be E-War on some ships. You think we'll see a medium-sized alien cargo multi-purpose ship in the near future? They want to do a Xi'an cargo ship, I know that. Question, I have Shadow Tech. Wondering if I have to download the driver to use the Logitech X52 flight stick, won't load a profile. So the Shadow PC will need the Logitech driver for the stick. It has been previously fiddly sometimes to get certain sticks working, and you might have to mail them directly with your issue, because I certainly haven't tested every stick, and even when I have, there's fiddly problems that can occur based on your setup and how you set up your Shadow PC. So it should work. There shouldn't be a problem getting it working once you've problem solved it. If you see what I mean, it won't just not work. Give them a poke is my best suggestion there. I will at some point try and get some sort of basic Star Citizen problem solving stuff up on a page for getting USB devices and HOTAS to work. Feel free to message me your exact problems with it if you don't get any joy from Shadow, because I'll give them a poke as well, and then I can start doing that sort of like problem solving page. It's probably quite a good idea to start doing that. Also, I need to see if I can get my Valve Index work with Shadow, because I'm not sure if it will or not. How do you feel about pretty much all non-cargo missions giving a lower reward than 3.8? So a lot of missions will give progressively higher rewards the more you do them, and taking sort of like the call to arms mission and stuff helps as well. I want to see a range of missions, and I want to see difficulty of missions, and I want to see group missions and solo intended missions that are quite hard as well, and stuff like that. So at the moment, I don't think we've got enough range of missions, and I certainly want to see larger rewards for missions. Do you like the way the game's going? I mean, yeah, it's just going there too slowly for me. I'm fine. I'd like it faster, as it were. Major changes would be full persistence, larger player base in each server. Physicalized components is huge. Do you think we'll get our referral code Alpha UEC back? After this, why I started with 5,000 instead of 10,000. Yeah, you're supposed to start with all the UEC that's supposed to be in your account. You have an ugly Christmas sweater on. Yeah, it's the Trixie. It's beautiful. In the Star Citizen universe, what package would you recommend to buy? The Mustang Alpha starter package, and then you can get everything else you want in game. What would you be able to do with the land claims if construction won't be released with it? So you can exploit resources on it. So you'd have like minables and stuff on it. There could be lore stuff associated with it. And beyond that, I know there's more things they want to do. I'm just not sure exactly what they are at this stage. Will Squadron 42 be instance-based? Will the single player take place within a persistent universe, or will it be separate? So it's not going to be within the persistent universe. It's set before the current persistent universe, so a few years before. It is part of the same universe, but it won't affect the universe. It would technically affect your character, because you sort of like fill out a diary, which is then retroactively put in to Star Citizen. For your character. When Delamar leaves the Stanton system, will it be a bit like the Brexit drama? Wow. Order! Is there any medical gameplay coming with the release of the Gutless Red? Not that we are aware of at the moment. They have been working on the ability to med pen other people and NPCs. and drag people and things like that, but we don't know when that's coming in. It's possible the Cutlass Red could have some extra use when it comes in, or it might just be a ship that's ready for medical gameplay, but they haven't got medical gameplay in there. When do you think Theatres of War will be released? Probably for 3.9, but I would expect to see it in an Evocati/PTU phase in early 2020. Any date for the Constellation Taurus? No. They literally are staying really quiet about that as well, which is weird. There must be something going on with that, or with the constellations in general, or something. Bear with me 1 second. I just need to pee real quick. Yeah. Oh. Giving money to the fucking chair. Oh my god, Hannah, you monster. Oh. Whew. Weird people. They like the chair more than me. Do CIG plan to have some safe system that have a mission that doesn't need any ship? So they've talked about potentially having missions on stations and stuff to refill vending machines and repair systems on a space station and stuff. So yeah, if you had no money in the future and all your ships exploded or whatever, there would be some other stuff to do. You'd be able to get jobs on other people's ships as crew and stuff like that as well, I suspect. Hi, Board. Thanks for all the hard work you do. I consider you the total biscuit of the Star Citizen community. Oh dear. Too soon. I love Total Biscuit. I know a lot of people didn't get on, didn't agree with him, but I do think he was a genuine pillar of the gaming community. He affected the gaming community hugely. And yeah. I feel an honour to be compared to him in any way. Even if it was shut up, you're not as good as Total Biscuit. Well, obviously I'm fucking not, but and that's honestly the highest compliment I could ever give. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Thank you very much. That's a lovely thing to say. I don't agree with it, but I think it's a lovely thing to say. Thank you. Do you not recommend the discounted Avenger Titan package at the moment? Yeah, I mean, if you want to spend more than just a starter package, and you want to go for the Avenger Titan, I think the Avenger Titan is a great ship to start the game with. It would be my recommended ship if you want to spend more than the starter package money. But you can just get a Mustang Alpha, and you can do a few missions, and then you can rent within like an hour. You can rent an Avenger Titan for a day if you wanted. Or you could just do a few more missions, then you could rent a Prospector for a day, and then you could leverage that to literally mine for a whole day and make a load of money. So, Titan Armor, which patch is it going to come out? We don't know. It's going to be done for Squadron 42. Let me just check when it's done for Squadron 42 phase. It's going to potentially done for Squadron 42 now. We could see it very well next year, but we don't know how long it will take for them to bring it into the verse, to the Persistent universe. When will commodity trading be more persistent? Well, they're planning lots more economy features for 3.9. Yeah, progression persistence, platform persistence, what I'm really after. It should be in a 3.8.x patch, at least more persistence. Smart, Lufas. Smart. You buying Star Citizen through my referral links. You're smart. It's board game is shill, but you're smart. They should sell an Idris starter package. Yes, they should. Oh my god. They'd probably fucking sell as well. Board, when does the Q1 patch typically fall? End of March. End of March, end of June, end of October is when the third patch of the year is supposed to be, but it's whenever CitizenCon is now, typically. And then mid to end of December. Do you think we'll see those 6C Mark II Hornets? We sort of have. Like, they've updated the Hornets. And then there's the F7A Hornets, which are the military ones. Heard a while ago that CIG are tight on money. What? Is it possible they run out before the game's completed? I mean, it's possible, but I mean, we've got the financials. And you'd be incorrect on them being tight on money. They got 56 million in the bank at the end of 2018, and apparently 2019 was was record-breaking funding for them. So I will be covering these financials in some detail in the next few weeks. I just want to get a bit more of a look at them. Might send them to one of my accountant friends as well. So what does this actually mean? Does it mean anything I should talk about? Or should I just talk about it like I'm an idiot? Which is fine. I mean, people don't mind me talking about an idiot, like an idiot, because I am, and that's why you watch my channel. Yeah. I'd expect them to be closer to 550 to 600 employees now as well. Do you think role and reputation will have an effect on things like rare ship purchases and access to restricted areas? Yes, 100%. So there'll be faction and reputation, and that will give you abilities to purchase more easily or from different places, weapons, ships, get access to different areas, get access to different missions. When does Microtech get its Spaceport 3.9? So Q1 2020. Did you get 0 Alpha UBC bug in the 3.8 build? It is not a bug. So let me read you. Put it in my latest video, just in case people. There you go. Not a bug. There you go, buddy. 3.8 live. No default starting Alpha UEC. Let's fucking zoom in. Boop, 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 boop. With the update to our live alpha servers to patch 3.8, the current default starting alpha UEC for all players has been set to a base of 0 alpha UEC plus any bonus UEC that is attributed directly from your RSI account. This means players without any bonus starting alpha UEC will start with 0 monies, but you'll need to do missions. If you've bought UEC, if you've got bonus UEC from signing up to someone's code, if you've got UEC from referrals, then you'll start with that. You might think that's very unfair, but that is what it is, and that's what I'm relaying to you. With all the baggers having their ships bought, how do you think CIG can justify the existence of lifetime insurance? Well, it helps them make a lot of money. I mean, that's the main reason they can justify it. It's helped them build the game and make a fuck ton of cash. Lifetime insurance isn't going to be a huge deal, though. Like, as in, it's not going to give you a huge benefit in game. That's the idea. It's only going to cover like the basic hull of your ship, and largely, I believe, that the upgraded components for ships are going to, once you get to like B and A class components that are very good, military grade, whatever, that's what's going to be really fucking expensive, and you're going to want to insure those, and that's not part of lifetime insurance. But expect lifetime insurance to be a very minimal sort of like perk. I suppose with the huge ships, if you're using them as like Zerg Rush, actually the stock build for this ship is fine, and I can keep on using it aggressively with no sort of like recourse other than it's going to be out of action for 3 weeks while I wait for it to come back. Then yeah, maybe they need some balance there, but they will just balance it. You normally start the game with... I've talked about that already. I've installed the 3.8 game, but I'll try and launch it. It won't work. Guardian Eagle, do you have a game package? Make sure you've got a game package. And is there any other problems? Is it installed in an SSD? Hello? Maybe everyone's doing all right? Okay, I've lost my voice and I'm just mumbling lots now. These subscriptions give huge boosts to Alpha UBC. I thought they gave huge boosts to Rec. Can you still get lifetime insurance? Yes, when they release new ships, new concept ships and new ships, typically they have, the first time they go on sale for a few months or a few weeks, they have lifetime insurance on them. The starting money UEC that's part of account packages is not put on your account yet. It will be in the future, but they have not put that on your account. That is not counted in their starting UEC yet. I don't have confidence that lifetime insurance won't be a big deal. I feel it will look more like insurance and Eve. For the filthy casual player, like lifetime insurance could be possibly an issue. Okay. Well, I think we'll have to wait and see. I think it will be balanced, but it's possible there'll be some exploits. I mean, before the game goes live, which is going to be a long time anyway, I suspect there's going to be a load of fucking things that are broken as hell. Will the Inferno fit in the Crucible? I would expect so, yes. Which do you think is better as the only ship to have? Saber versus Retaliator? Saber if it's just one of you? Retaliator if there's a group? With the current status of the game, do you still have doubts on whether they'll be able to fulfill the massive goal for the PU? No, I mean, they'll be able to do it in time. They will take as fucking much time as they want as well, there's the problem. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? They'll definitely get there, but it could take a long amount of years. I mean, I'm expecting like 4 years now before we have anything near a live build of the game, at least. So, will they release the Titan suit as a concept? It might be straight to flyable or drivable now, because they looked like they wanted to have it ready for Squadron 42's needs at the end of Q4 2019. So now, yeah, we'll see. We'll see Star Citizen released in our lifetimes. What inside links do you have on the Aegis Retaliatory work? I don't have any. I could ask people, but... Trying to see if I can upgrade my prospector to a mole. You should be able to. Keep getting an error code when I try and go to the ship upgrades tab. Is this happening to anyone else? Roberts, Space Industries. Development. Pledge store. Ship upgrades. Make sure you've got your ad block not turned on for that page. What did you want? A prospector to a mole. Copy address. Does this? was hoping I could copy you the... It works for me. It works for me. I was hoping I could copy the link to this specific thing that's added to cart, but it just keeps on taking me back to this page, unfortunately. When do you think HDR color processing will be released? So they are working on that for Squadron 42 first, and the Vulkan integration and all that sort of stuff. I would expect more options in the Persistent Universe next year for things like HDR color processing and a load of sort of like refinements to the game and the engine and the renderer and stuff. Have they decoupled the wings from the landing gear on the Aegis ships yet? No? Orion functions a bit differently to the Prospector and the Mole, just splits rocks and asteroids and eats them. Extraction is done internally, right? Will that be the efficient way of mining? So the Prospector and the Mole work pretty much the same, except there's 3 beams on the Mole, and the idea is that will go into the internals of the ship. There's no refining going on, but there will be some sorting and discarding of inert materials and shit that you don't want going on internally. The Orion is more of a strip miner, but we don't exactly know how that will work until it's in game. What's the most profitable cargo run ship and shortest amount of time in cargo in the Caterpillar today? I don't know. I have not gone over the full meta of cargo and cargo runs and stuff. I will look at that and mining at some point. With the newest CitizenCon, CIG have replaced all Inner Thought activated buttons with touch panels, even in the ships. Will this be the case for every clickable button in the game? For most of them, yes. They want to go for more physicalized buttons rather than Inner Thought. So anything that can have a clickable button, always certainly will. Oh, sorry, I've got a cold and I'm not doing too well now. Any idea when we might see the area Q&A? What? Ares Q&A. I was hoping we'd already have it. It's possible they've got a skeleton crew that will release it this week. If not, it will be in the new year. Can you explain on how the new quantum engines work? Yeah, so you use more fuel, but you go a lot faster, even in small ships. But you don't have the sort of like quantum fuel capacity, so you'll have to use rest stops much more regularly. And all items and components in the game have been rebalanced, so you want to look through the quantum engine to get the right one for you as well, when you're able to. There are, in the video I've done today, it's just been released on my channel, there are links to places where you can get all the like component stats and look at the new components and where to get them as well. I would expect to see the Ares next year. It looks like they're going to be trying to do a load of the Hercules ships next year in a big glut, probably for Q3, Q4. Expect Star Citizen to be more scalable in the future, Mr. Toastal. 8 gigs of RAM is pretty low for gaming, though. Like, that's pretty low. 12 gigs minimum. 16, really. Might the Ares sale end before they get the Q&A? I would hope not. It might. They haven't given a time for the end of the Mole sale or the Ares sale at the moment, which is annoying. Right. I'm going to dash off because I feel really fucking rough. Big Fun Funisher. Big Funisher. Thank you very much for the sub. Very much appreciated. I was just going on to say hello to everyone, and I love them all. And thank you very much for supporting the channel through Christmas. I will have some coverage of Star Citizen over the next couple of days, but it is Christmas, so I'll be taking some time off, and I still have my cold, and so I'm sorry that I've been a bit sort of like slapdash with content, and my voice has been destroyed since CitizenCon, and hasn't got better properly, so hope everyone's enjoying 3.8. If do you have any questions or anything that you want to talk to me about, you can feel free to email me on contact@boardgamer.co.uk or message me on the Discord. What's going to be included in the dynamic mission system? We don't know to what extent what we're getting for the dynamic mission system for 3.9. They wanted to have the start and the first iteration of that. So it will have modular missions, lots more points of interest and events happening for you along your quantum travel routes, but also during missions. So to what extent exactly that's going to work, I need a dev really to answer. Why is one of my eyes just gone mental? Why am I a little goblin boy? These are things that... wow. That's distracting. Thanks, guys. Appreciated. Fuck you. How about that? Thanks for the bits, though, Rockhog. Enjoy the time off. Love your face. Thanks. Appreciated. They said they're going to have 100 plus solar systems, with only one and a second one planned, but not shown in the roadmap. When can we see a huge progression with this? I mean, they basically said that they're going to be able to pump out systems much quicker, because, you know, they weren't trying to pump out systems before. They were trying to build one and lots of biomes and the core tech for the game. So, I mean, over the next 4 years, I would expect to see, you know, maybe 30 plus systems. They'll probably release without the 100 plus systems, and then they'll add more and more and more and more from month to month. That would be my expectation. The Mantis can still interdict. I haven't actually tested it in 3.8, but I've seen other people interdict in the PTU. So, right, I'm going to go and host someone else on the Twitch, and then have some flu stuff. Maybe have a quick little munchie to eat, and then call it a day and go to bed. Because tomorrow I'm getting up early, and I want to get my Christmas meals done. But thank you so much for supporting the channel for, you know, however many months, years, weeks, hours you have. Thank you very much for coming to watch me today. Very much appreciated. Very much looking forward to 2020 for starters, and there's a huge amount of stuff planned, including the Pyro system and all that sort of stuff. Oh, thank you very much.
Feel better and happy holidays.
Thank you very much, Cyrus Scraper. Cyrus Scraper. Whatever your fucking name is. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Oh, you star. But let's see who else is. Let's go Streamer House. Streamer Star Citizen load. Who do you want? Do you want DJ Knight or do you want Streamer House? I'm sure there's no one else. First name gets it. Do they implement the parachute on atmosphere if accident to eject? They haven't got parachutes yet. They do have they are planning a way of surviving in atmosphere when you eject in the future, but we don't know exactly what that's going to be. Parachute, maybe. Jump boots, maybe. DJ Knight, we will go and host DJ Knight. Thank you very much. Give DJ Knight some love. /raid DJ Knight. Thank you very much for supporting my channel, guys. Thank you very much for giving me a ridiculous amount of love, money, views, watches, bits, silly faces. I do really appreciate it. Merry Christmas or Happy Winterval or Happy Holidays, whatever you say in your household. I wish you that. Happy New Year. Happy 2020 if I don't see you before then. There will be some affected videos over the next couple of days. They will be affected because of Christmas to an extent. I might get like 1 or 2 out in the next few days. Yeah, I hope everyone you know is doing good and you're doing well. And I'm gonna stop ranting. Thank you very much for all the love. You take care, guys. Oh, thank you very much for the money as well. Merry Xmas to all. Thank you very much, Clueless Obo. Appreciate it. Many blessings to everyone. Wish I didn't have a cold. Look at these tactile little screens you want to press. Beep, 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 beep. I do love Star Citizen. I do love you guys. Thank you very much. You're the best. I'll get better. Don't you fucking worry. Peace out.